Hello everybody, I'm Mikola, and I am back already. I know it hasn't been that long, hopefully, but I am here and I decided on a channel name. I released the videos, all the backlog videos, and they are all like over an hour, and I'm so sorry. This one's gonna be shorter though, I promise. If you're not out of here in 15-20 minutes, you can do whatever you want. You can come smack me in the head. I promise. Today, I decided it would be fun to go over my top 12 favorite movies from 2022. I saw the most movies I've ever had this past year, and there were so many incredible films that I just really wanted to talk about, and that's what we're going to do today. The reason that I'm going with a top 12 instead of a top 10 is because on Letterboxd, the list feature puts them in rows of 4, so yeah. It's just more aesthetically pleasing in my brain to do it this way. And yes, before we get started, this episode of Mikola is sponsored by Taco Bell. If you go into a Taco Bell and tell them my 6th favorite movie of the year, you will get a free Crunchwrap Supreme. So please go try that, and yeah.
Doesn't like you.
I'm sorry.
I don't like you either.
All right, number 12, we got The Banshees of Inisherin. So this is a movie that I really didn't have much knowledge of going into it, other than the basic premise of this guy doesn't want to be friends with this guy anymore. But I've never seen a Martin McDowell film before, but I was very pleasantly surprised. I really love pretty much everything about this movie. The cast is great. I love Colin Farrell in this, and I also love Brendan Gleeson. Sorry, I forgot his name. Just a whole lot of fun Irish shenanigans in this one, and also some not so fun. Men will literally chop off their fingers instead of going to therapy. Am I right, guys? Barry Cogan. These Irish people, man, I tell you. Jenny the Donkey is in this movie, and yeah, she is an incredible soul. There are some absolutely beautiful shots in this movie. I've never wanted to go retire to an Irish island so badly. Just some absolutely gorgeous feckin' shots, you know. They use the word feck a lot in this, which is just really funny. It's not a heartwarming story, but it's definitely a very interesting story that I highly recommend to anybody.
I love my gay son.
All right, next up on my list is The Fabelmans, directed by Steven Spielberg. It's honestly been a while since I've seen a Spielberg movie in theaters, and it was kind of crazy that this movie didn't come to my theater until like a month after release, which just shocking to me for a Spielberg movie. The first thing I have to say about this one is that Paul Dano is in it, and he has a scene with Crystal the monkey, which, yeah, it's cinema right away. The most important thing about this movie is how it made me feel. Not even 10 minutes in, I was already like crying. The scene where Sammy shows his mom his first movie just really affected me, and I knew I would be in for a journey. Some moments that I wanted to point out are the day of shooting that we got in this movie, where he had like 50 guys, they're shooting a war pick, and I don't know, I just related super hard to the moment where he's like trying to direct this guy that like isn't an actor, and Sammy doesn't know the words. He hasn't been trained or anything. He's just doing what he knows how to do, and somehow he's able to pull something really meaningful out of this kid that has like no aspirations to be an actor, whatever. I don't know. It just really touched me. At the end of the movie, there's a very great cameo, and I think this has one of the greatest final shots of any movie. Made me chuckle, but yeah, it just really affected me as someone that wants to like be a filmmaker one day. All right, now getting into the official top 10 list. Number 10, I got Nope. Right here, up top. Keke Palmer, she's up there. Incredible in this movie. One of the most important things I need to mention about this movie is the score. I just really, I don't know, the mix of like Western and sci-fi just like really connected here, especially towards the end of the movie. The cinematography as well, just incredible. Some absolutely great shots and a lot of great foreshadowing through the cinematography, which I really appreciate. Cast as well is incredible. I already mentioned Keke Palmer, but her relationship with Daniel Kaluuya's character is great, and really just every supporting character in this movie really has a moment to shine. The last thing I want to mention about Nope is the creature design. I'm not going to spoil anything in this video, but just the way that the creature is, it's cool, it's original, and it's a fresh take on the genre, which is great. And there's another monkey in this movie, and it is not similar to how it is used in The Fabelmans. That is for sure.
Now you die.
Highlands, Lady Belinda.
All right, my number 9 film of the year is After Sun. That sounded like I was questioning it. No, After Sun is my 9th favorite movie of the year. This is one that I just watched recently, and it absolutely floored me. It's not like too long of a film. It's like an hour and a half. But like the first 45 minutes, I just thought was a really like good time. It reminds you of like going on vacation with your dad. I really love the relationship between Sophie and Colum. They have a great daughter-father relationship. Just like the kind of relationship where they give crap to each other and they're able to throw it right back at them, which was great. Paul Mescal absolutely deserved the nomination for Best Actor. I think it'd be great if he got it too, honestly. There's some really great stuff in the last 30 minutes of this movie that just really like puts into perspective like the whole movie, and even like it makes you think about your own relationship with your parents. I don't know, it was a lot. It has an absolutely like amazing use of my favorite Queen song, so that was pretty great for me, but also like absolutely heartbreaking. Tears were shed at the end of this movie, and a lot of thinking happened afterwards. Yeah, definitely check out After Sun. Just be prepared if you got daddy issues.
Keep them crying. Don't let up.
All right, number 8 on my list is Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, an absolutely beautifully animated live-action hybrid that, I don't know, it's simply incredible. The humor in this movie is something that I wasn't expecting. Obviously, it's based on the YouTube shorts from the early days of YouTube. I never really grew up with those. I don't really have the nostalgia for it, yet all of this really hit. Animation, as I mentioned, is absolutely incredible. By the end of it, Marcel is a real like character that you believe exists. Like, they do such a good job integrating this character into the real world that, I don't know, it's crazy to me. Like, there are scenes where you're like, how did they do that? How did they stop motion animate that? This one is a tearjerker. There are some actually like really deep themes in this movie that, I don't know, it's not something that you'd expect from a movie that's about a little shell with shoes on. That's the title of the movie. Final note, there's a Nathan Fielder cameo in this movie, and that makes it everything. Honestly, changing the list, this movie is now at number 1 because Nathan Fielder is in it, and we love Nathan Fielder.
I need to know that I have done one thing right with my life.
All right, number 7 on my list is Avatar: Way of the Water. Say what you will about Big Jim, but he knows how to make a blockbuster. I, at the beginning of this year, was not an Avatar believer. I was dreading the release of Avatar 2, but about a month ago, I rewatched the first Avatar, and I loved it a lot more than I remember loving it as a kid. And then I saw Avatar 2 and truly became a believer. What some people would say are the worst parts of this movie are my absolute favorite. there's just 40 minutes in the middle of this movie where they're just chilling, chilling by the beach. There are shots that are not made to progress any form of story. They're just there to show you beauty. And that's something that I feel like a lot of films forget to do nowadays. To experience another world, this film takes you to Pandora. And I don't know, it's magical. Go into this movie and let the film take you where it wants to take you. You'll have a great time. I got to see this movie again last night, actually. I took Kim, and she saw it for the first time. Another Avatar hater turned believer. I just spent this whole time talking about how gorgeous this movie is instead of all the other stuff I wanted to talk about. Really quick, the story is an improvement over the first one, even if it is a retread. I think the characters are stronger. I really like Quaritch a lot more in this one, and I think his relationship with Spider is really interesting. And Loak and Payakan, I love Payakan so much. Just the Torix in general, absolutely incredible creature design. I love the big whales. But yeah, Payakan's relationship with Loak I really enjoyed. And that's all I'll say for now. This is just one of those movies that can take you to film school if you let it. That's all I gotta say. Big Jim! James Cameron! Woo! Alright, my sixth favorite movie of the year is another one that I only watched recently, and it is Decision to Leave. This is my first Park Chan-wook movie, and damn, do I want to go watch a bunch more. I was absolutely mesmerized by this movie from start to finish. Not even just like in the mystery aspect of it, but just like the character relationships. The performances in this movie by the two leads, Tong Wei and Hai Il Park. I'm so sorry. I didn't want to show that I'm using notes, but I don't want to mispronounce their names. I'm sorry. They're completely incredible performances. And this is one of those movies that's just like, the story is in the shots. Like, this is one of those movies where you hit mute. Like, I could turn off the subtitles, and I think I'd have a pretty good grasp of what's going on just by experiencing the cinematography. I really respect this movie because it had an out at like the 90, 80 minute mark. It had a pretty perfect ending. I was satisfied, and what I thought was the climax turned into a whole nother like second half of the movie, which I wasn't really on board for at first, but after about 20 minutes, I could kind of see where we were going. God, this movie just floored me. It's the absolute snub that this wasn't even nominated for Best International Feature, let it go alone, like Best Picture, Best Cinematography, Best Performances, Best Actor and Actress. Jesus Christ. This is like an incredible movie. I absolutely loved it, and I'm so excited to revisit it many, 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 many more times. Screw you, Academy. You don't even know what a movie is, because this is a movie. Breaking into the top 5 here, we have Top Gun Maverick. There's so much I could say about this movie. I did not expect to love it. I have no care in the world for the first Top Gun movie. It's like a fine, whatever movie. But this is on a whole nother level. This is what made me a Tom Cruise believer. I've never given a care in the world to Tom Cruise, but now I am so excited for the new Mission Impossible movie. I bought the box set. I'm gonna watch them all, and I'm so excited to see what happens there. This movie is just insane. How this film was made is incredible to me. Even before knowing about it, you could tell that there was something special going on. But the fact that the actors had to film themselves in the planes and the G's were all real, it's insane. Movies don't get made like this anymore. Just there's something so special about it. The action, that's great and all, but the fact that this actually had an emotionally connecting story is also insane to me. Miles Teller, I've never been a huge believer in either, But between this and I recently watched Whiplash for the first time, kid's a damn good actor, and he really sells the role as Rooster here between him and Maverick. I don't know, it's the movie wouldn't work without that. As much as like the action is incredible, it's really that like storyline that pulls on your heartstrings that really guides you through this movie. This is the type of blockbuster that I think we really need. There were 3 blockbusters, this, Way of the Water, and one more that we're about to get to that, I don't know, they really give me hope for the future of blockbuster cinema. After years of like Marvel movies that I enjoy but are obviously like, they're not on this level, you know? Maybe really like airplanes, maybe really want to join the Air Force, except not! Ha ha ha! This movie really thought it could propaganda me into becoming a military guy. Nope. I just want to fly a plane around in a circle and shoot at balloons. You know that level in Crash Bandicoot where you fly around in the plane and you shoot down the blimps? That's gonna be me. I'm gonna do that because of this movie.
Who always pays their taxes? Not Batman!
Alright, number 4 on my list, I foreshadowed at in the last section. It's the Batman. I get to show off the steelbook that I got at Best Buy. I know I had my whole like little thing, but I was at Best Buy the other day and they had this, and this looks cooler than the one I originally pre-ordered, so I don't know, I finally have a Batman steelbook. Thank Jah. It's honestly the best Batman movie. Like, I don't know what happened. I love The Dark Knight, but the Batman is the Batman. And I will just repeat that phrase over and over again until the end of time. The Batman is the Batman. And I don't know, for me personally, you can't argue with that. An absolutely incredible cast here. Robert Pattinson kills it as Bruce Wayne and Batman. Jeffrey Wright is definitely my favorite Gordon, as much as I love Gary Oldman. I mean, like, okay, Jeffrey Wright, it's a different take on the character, and I absolutely love it. Just like, roll the clip. Roll the clips. Rolling all the clips of Jeffrey Wright.
Jesus, this is a powder keg. Jesus, his next victim is Bruce Wayne. Jesus, he's strangling. Open your eyes!
As everybody else in this movie, I could go on for hours about how much I love Paul Dano, how much I love Zoe Kravitz. The one I will highlight here, though, is John Turturro. Completely, like, no idea he was going to be in the movie, and he absolutely steals every scene that he's in as Falcone. Man, God, it's the Batman. A couple more things I want to hit on. I love the score. I know some people say it's a little bit repetitive, and I can definitely understand it not getting a Best Score nomination this year, but I don't know, just the main theme, it has not left my head since I saw the movie in theaters. I love Gotham. It's like its own character. It's so decrepit and icky, just like Gotham should be. Maybe second only to Batman Begins. I saw it opening night in Dolby, and the car chase between him and the Penguin, another great Colin Farrell performance this year, by the way. I don't know, just inject that thing into my veins. Just like the vibrations and the like just the score, everything. It's a perfect Batman movie. Perfect Batman movie.
I'm in no mood for this. We are depressed.
All right, number 3 on my list is definitely the hottest take that I have, and that's gonna be Bo Burnham's Inside the Outtakes. Yeah, a video that was uploaded to YouTube on a random night that is now on Netflix, so this has more credibility. Absolutely stole my heart. Inside was my favorite film of 2021, so this was gonna really affect me in a way. Inside is super special to me just because it shows, I don't know, what you can do if you really put your mind to it. Just one person can make something like so full of passion and art and creativity. It just floors me. And this was like equally special to me in that way, because if you've seen the videos on this channel or on some of my past channels, I always make a blooper video to go with whatever like film that I make, and it just ends up being like a time capsule of like every feeling that went into the filmmaking process, whether it be good or bad. You get to see, I don't know, it's the outtakes. Like, they end up being like little mini documentaries to me, and I don't know, it's just a super special feeling. And to see that, like, the kind of behind the scenes process, what Bo felt was good enough for his vision and what he felt needed to be taken out, was just super interesting to me. I will say I disagree with a lot of the songs that he decided. I'm not going to say I disagree. I love 5 Years. It's a great song. It did not belong in Inside just because of the themes of isolation. I don't know why the chicken was not, like, why was that not in the original Inside? The chicken is so good. Like, literal tears. I love Bezos 4 is my favorite of the Bezoses. Spider. We love Spider. That's a great song. Biden. I'm just literally listening off songs now. One more. The alternate version of All Eyes on Me. This is the superior version to me personally, at least for a Spotify listen, just because it doesn't have the monologue in it. But I don't know. It's great. I love this like little short look. I feel like it's even more like authentic look at Bo and his psyche and his artistic like vision, because this is the stuff that wasn't supposed to ever be seen, you know? Like, this is the stuff that wasn't going to be in Inside. So it's kind of like we're seeing something that we're not supposed to be seeing. I can only say it so many times. This is just a really special thing to me, and I really related to it personally.
What are you doing?
Dance off, bro. Me and you.
My number 2 movie of the year is RRR. What an absolutely stellar movie. I got the chance to see this a couple nights ago in a theater, and it was the third time I've seen it, but seeing it on the big screen is how it was meant to be seen. Like, what an incredible, like, it's an incredible action movie. It's an incredible historical fiction movie. It's an incredible rom-com. It's an incredible musical. It's just everything. I'm gonna use the word, guys. The one that everyone used to describe this movie is electric. It is jaw-droppingly insane. Every action set piece works. But it doesn't just work. It does so much that, like, absolute goosebumps every time I've watched this movie. Seeing a beam jump out of a truck full of wild animals. Seeing them swing off of a bridge to save a child. Oh my god. The ending. I'm very brief spoilers, but seeing 2 men become one to work together. Oh my god. Just everything about this movie is absolutely incredible. People will like say it's overacted or whatever. Like, it kind of feels like a telenovela in that way, where everything is over dramatic and kind of like a little over the top. But the performances that we get here, I'm going to use my notes again, I'm so sorry. The performances that we get out of Ram Charan as Raju and Inti Ramarao as Beam are absolutely incredible. Like, the moments where they just like have so much emotion and they just like scream to let it all out. I don't know, like, something changed when I saw that, you know? These 2 men give incredible performances, and they have such incredible chemistry between each other. Like, when they have to do what they have to do, you just feel heartbroken, and I'm absolutely like still stunned by it. I can't talk about it. I'm gonna touch on the songs. The intro Dosti song is, I say intro, it's 40 minutes in, but it's a montage that just, you buy their friendship immediately and how like perfect they are for each other. So you may say it's a little too foreshadowy, but I mean, it's obvious where the film's going to go anyway. Natu Natu is incredible. One of the best dance sequences I've ever seen on a film. And just an absolute great, like, F you to the British, you know? That's what this whole movie is. A great F you to the British. You'll love to see it. We hate the British over here. Screw those guys. And then I also just want to give a shout out to... that scene just gives me goosebumps. It's an absolute incredible display of, like, revolution and what fighting for freedom, like, really is. And it's just a great turning point in the movie. I don't know, this movie floors me. It's everything. I'm gonna say the other thing people say. Hollywood should be scared. I could talk about this movie forever. There's just so much good. The 3 hours flies by. It feels like an hour. Now, number 2. It's great. It's only number 2! In any other world, this is like a number 1. This is an all-timer. This is an all-time movie. God, I will not get over it. Alright, everyone. We all know what this movie is going to be. My number 1 movie of the year is a movie that everyone's been talking about. It's been making the rounds. Everyone has a favorite part that they love to discuss. Why beat around the bush anymore? My number 1 movie of the year is Black Adam starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I mean... I'm just kidding, my actual number 1 movie of the year is Everything Everywhere All at Once. This movie just hits in a way that I don't think any other movie has ever hit. It's just, every single shot has so much creativity put into it. There are so many, like, fascinating ideas. I will say, so I think a lot of people got confused for a second when the Oscar shortlist came out. They were like, how was this not nominated for Best Visual Effects? And I think they all got confused because it's the editing that really holds this movie together. Every insane, like, idea, I feel like it's mostly the editing that really, like, pulls it together, you know? There's obviously, like, the shots of Michelle Yeoh, like, screaming, and it's, like, going, you know. But I think one of my favorite shots in this movie is when Joy is, like, introduced as Chewbacca, and she's, like, switching between the universes with the clock tick. It's just so... what an interesting, like, shot, you know? The performances in this movie are, like, off the rails. Michelle Yeoh kills it. Of course, Ke Huy Quan. So happy to have him back. What an incredible performance here. Absolutely my favorite part. Waymond is my favorite character. Everyone talks about the one line, in another universe, I'd love to do laundry and taxes with you. But the line that hit me the most is, like, people perceive my optimism as, like, stupid and, like, naive, but in reality it's actually, like, strategic and pointed and necessary. Like, that, I don't know, I'm the type of person that, like, I want to be kind, I want to be an optimist, I want to see the brighter side of things at all times, and just him putting it into words like that really hit a chord with me, because, I mean, you look at the world that we're living in, and to be optimistic is necessary. Yeah, I can't sing the praises of Stephanie Hsu enough. She is the emotional core of this movie, and I'm so happy. We were all scared there for a second that she wasn't going to get the nom, but she got the supporting actress nom. So did Jamie Lee Curtis. Look, we love Jamie Lee Curtis, but she does need an Oscar. She does not need it for this movie. This was Stephanie Hsu's role. This movie is everything everywhere all at once. It's everything to me. I love it. It's a perfect reminder in this world, like, just be kind. It couldn't be anything else. This is my number 1 movie of the year. This is it. It's magic. It's magic to me. This is why I want to make movies. This. And that is my top 12 favorite movies of 2022. There are some absolutely incredible movies that came out this year. A bunch that I didn't even mention as well. Tar jumps to mind. Ambulance Ants was a really good movie. Morbius came out this year. I'm so sorry. It just sounded like I put Tar on the same level as Ambulance Ants and Morbius. I love movies. I hope you guys love movies too. Please, how much do you agree with my list? What are the movies that you think should have been up here? What are your top 12, top 10, top 5, top 3 favorite movies of the year? I want to know. Let's talk about it. Let's have a healthy conversation about film. Looking at the times of each of the segments, it looks like this is going to be over 20 minutes, so just email me the place and time. You can come hit me in the head. Other than that, yeah, I've been Mikola. I hope you enjoyed this. Leave a like if you did, and hopefully more content coming soon. Peace.